I'll tell you what, you people really, really make me happy. Yes, you do. You really do. I love you all. You're just amazing. Just amazing, amazing people. And I could say that because I know that only one person is watching right now. I don't know who that one person is. It may be my mother. It may also be my sister. And it may be you. Is it you? Is it you? I think it's you. Well, welcome to Wednesday. Everybody loves Wednesday, don't they? Because the first half is the wed, and the second half is the ends day. And I think the ends day is probably the most important part for me because it's the ends of a day that we've come to. And hopefully you've all had a great Wednesday. I don't know much more than that. Today on our program, I welcome someone who I have shared the stage with, but not at the same time. That's interesting. But before we get started, I have to do my usual recourse of actually promoting my intranet speed at my house, because I often am afraid that people in my house are using up all my bandwidth playing their games and their whatnots and doing their yogas. A lot of people are doing yogas now. It's a thing. I don't know if you know about this. It's brand new. It's not yogurt, from what I can tell. It is, in fact, yoga. So we're going to see if, oh gosh, I hope this is me. I don't know if this is me. Is it me? Guys, just bear with me a second. I have to make sure I get the top-notch speed. And the only way to do that is to see whom I am. Oh, I don't know. This may not work. I may be giving someone else top-notch speed. Fingers crossed. I may have just been given the yogas the top-notch speed. So Ryan McCurdy, hi, how are you? Welcome to the show. There is a guest back there, and they're waiting with bated breath, and I know you are too, to see who it is. Who could it be? It could be anyone. But I think it's Cecilia Tran Orango. I told her I was going to mispronounce her name. It's actually Cecilia Tran Orango, and here she is. Hey!
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I apologize for my demeanor before the show. Often, I don't know what sort of speed I'm going to get, and I'm very, very, I like the best speed in my house. I don't know if you feel that way.
Oh, no. I mean, last night we just actually upgraded our modem. So now we have lightning fast internet.
And who is your lightning fast internet with?
It's with Comcast.
Oh, us too. Yeah. We've got that.
It's with Comcast. Fast. But my husband put it together. I don't know, the new modem. I don't know any of that technology stuff or the lingo, but he put it together like around 1. I just told him it needed to be up because I had a very important interview. Hello. So it's up and working. So I'm here.
I know you already saw that Mr. Ryan McCurdy is watching.
Hi, Ryan.
Yeah. And also Mr. David Poole, who was our guest yesterday.
Hey, David.
He's going into rehearsal for his show coming up on the 20-something.
Yes.
24th, the 24th, I believe. 24th and 25th.
Love, valor, and compassion.
Yes. Right? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. And you got it right, because yesterday I tried to repeat what he had told me earlier, and I was like, love, pride, and prejudice. Couldn't remember. Love, valor, and compassion. A very, very interesting show, it sounds like. Starring JoJo Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love some JoJo.
Yeah. Are you going to go see that?
I am planning to.
Good.
My mask on. So.
Yes. it is a masks only show. So that should be new and different.
That's right. That's right.
That's where we are.
Living in the new normal, as they say.
So how has that new normal been for you so far?
It's been okay. In the beginning, it was kind of weird, but then I totally started embracing it and, being able to roll out of bed and, fix my coffee and work at my kitchen table and not have to worry about putting on my face and getting dressed and going anywhere. And actually, I embraced all the time with my family. I think we were always on the go so much that I was so like literally on the run with anything, everything. I was hardly ever home. And actually, with being in this like shutdown, it made me really appreciate the time I spent with my family. My daughter's been running with me. We've been running nonstop. We've been doing all these virtual running challenges.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I heard myself echo. Is that me?
I don't-
Yeah. No, it didn't happen again. But yeah, it is a virtual running thing that someone started specifically for this, right?
So there's been several different social distance running challenges. I did the social distance challenge, and now I'm doing, it's called the Great Virtual Race Across Tennessee.
Oh,
So I think I'm past Chattanooga right now. I'm at the 50% mile mark.
I
So
see.
so we'll see.
And did you did the run for Ahmed as well?
I did.
Yeah.
I did do that. So
Very cool.
yep, and helped raise some money, do all that with all the memorial runs. So that's been good.
That's very, very good of you to do that. I don't run myself, so I was hoping someone would take up the banner. Yeah, it's been crazy. I know your daughter goes to a local high school that my kids also attended, and that was such a weird experience because that school is all about performance.
I know. It's so sad.
Yeah, I can say who it is. It's Savannah Arts Academy, of course.
Right. Oh, my daughter was so sad. They had to cancel their last recital, and my heart just broke for the seniors who, they finally have their moment to shine, and it's just so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I just remember how exciting it was my senior year, and to be robbed of that, sad.
You went to your prom, of course, I imagine.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
And my son didn't care.
Really?
He was fine with it. He was like, no prom, good. I went last year.
Yeah.
I don't have to walk across in front of a bunch of people. Good. I don't like people. That's my son. He does like people. I take that back, but he just doesn't like audiences as much as the two other people in the family that audiences.
Right.
Yeah. And you love an audience.
I do. I do love an audience. I do miss that.
Mm-hmm.
I miss being on stage right now. This is summertime. This is usually when you're like in rehearsals right now. So yeah, I'm sad.
What was the last performance you did?
Hair.
Hair, that's right.
I'm sorry. No, Rocky Horror.
Rocky.
It was in October. Hair was the summer musical, and then we went into Rocky.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, she's gonna kill me. Why? Sometimes I forget things, and I feel very sad about it. And Aguilera.
Oh, April.
I knew it. I knew it as soon as you said it.
Oh, she is the sweetest human being on the planet. And really I had never worked with April before until Hair. I was introduced to April while doing Hair. And I guess it was like a huge reunion for April and a couple of others in the cast who had attended SCAD together.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see, like this old school class and, this new school class come together. So it was fun. And she's just an amazing human being.
Yeah. So I was in Elf with April. And she is amazing. And then she was in the Trailer Park.
Oh yeah.
You see that?
I didn't get a chance to see it.
Oh, it was so funny. It was so funny. I think that was the second time they've done it here in town. At least in the current era. It was out at Tybee Post with another group. I can't remember what.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was it. They did a great job at the Savannah Theater with that.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that we had shared the stage.
We did.
A while back.
We did.
Why don't you enlighten the crowd about what we did?
So Chris and I For one night only, we're stand-up comedians to raise money for Susan G. Komen of the Coastal Empire here, where what's raised here stays here. And I will have to say, like, we both had to do 10-minute sets. And I don't know about you, Chris, but that was a terrifying 10 minutes, but not only a terrifying 10 minutes, but the lead up to that night was it was terrifying. I remember like thinking I had like some really funny lines, and then I would deliver it to my family and they had like stone cold faces. I'm like, you guys suck. I was like, I am so funny right now. This is amazing. I am cracking myself up. Why are you not cracking me up?
Why are you not laughing?
I know. I'm like, come on. But it was fun. I mean,
yeah.
I was glad it was over, but that took a lot of bravery. I mean, I think that's a lot harder than anything I've ever had to do before. And I would say that was harder than playing Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd. That was tough.
Yeah.
But stand-up comedy is, yeah.
It is
really
not
tough.
for the faint of heart.
No. I just knew if I threw in some dirty words and poked fun at myself that
that's half the comedy, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I was traveling back and forth for my job from here to Charleston a lot. So that whole trip was me working on my material like over and over again and trying to get it to what they call a tight 5, but this is a tight 10, I guess. I just remember that, when I looked at my watch beforehand and then afterwards, I was like, oh, that wasn't anywhere near 10. that was way over.
Oh yeah, it is. And then you don't realize it, but 10 minutes will fly.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're planning to do 10, that just sounds terrifying.
Yeah. But, and I think part of it is you get up in front of that group of people, and we had like maybe 60 people in the room, feels like about that. And that's when you just kind of glaze over.
Right.
And all of a sudden, all these uhs and ums start interfering. Yeah. Well, last weekend. That kind of thing. It was very fun. I'd like to do it again, actually.
Oh my gosh. If I did it again, I would use the same set because it's saved in my phone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. You have to work on your set. You have to add things. You have to drop things. I think that's the part of it.
I'll just say I'm going on tour, so this is my next stop.
Here's one of the bits I had, and let's see how that works. And I didn't actually fully flesh it out, but I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. Sitting is the new smoking. Trying to come up with effective. No, these are two different bits. Actually, I had never finished. Sitting is the new smoking. That was it. that was all I had. Trying to come up with effective discipline for kids today is fun. I had to tell my daughter that I would post pictures of her room to Instagram if she didn't clean up. Instead, she asked me to tag her in them. That was it.
Yeah. I'm actually sitting in my daughter's room right now. If she would kill me if I actually hand this camera over to the piles of clothes everywhere.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think that's a challenge.
Oh?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a challenge right now. So here's what I'm going to do. What I can do is actually I can enter this same meeting on my phone, and I'm going to walk over and embarrass my daughter because that sounds like fun. Okay. So bear with me a second, folks.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. We'll see who has the messier child.
Yeah, exactly. So, there I am. Let's see. This is going to be weird. So I'm going to, okay, there I go. Switching cameras. Here we go. All right. Walking through the house. So this is my living room. And there's a seldom used guitar in the corner. We all have our hobbies. Walking. Where are you, Molly? Are you in here?
Right here.
Oh, there you are. Hey.
I just made dinner.
You made dinner? Let's take a look. Who wants to see? Let's see. There's dinner.
Ooh.
All right, we're gonna go check out your room, Holly.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
All right. Okay, I'm not gonna check out a room. I'm gonna be a good dad. All I did was walk in the door, Mom. Actually, I'll give a report. Here's what I'll do. I won't look at the room, but I'll give a report. Huh. So I have a cat.
You can see my plants.
She has some plants that she got. Those are one of the
Oh,
plants.
nice.
Yeah. That's it.
And she has some posters, of course. And it's about average for a girl's room. It's not too terrible.
Not too crazy.
Not too crazy. No. But yeah, it's okay. You can.
Okay, I'm gonna pan over and let you guys see this.
All right.
This is terrible. You guys ready?
I'm almost ready. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right. To all of Camille's friends, if you get your hands on this video or if you see this, do not share with her that I shared her room. She would totally kick my butt. Here we go. I told you. I win.
You win.
We're trying to get rid of things. So I'm saying that she's probably putting the stuff to the side so that she can figure out what's to keep and what's not to keep. But once again, friends of Camille, do not rat on me, please.
Well, you know what? We're on Facebook right now, so they're not watching anyway.
Oh yeah, come on. That's right. What's the new thing? TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. I will post to Instagram later, so there may be some flack from that, but that's neither here nor there. So on to the next topic. This is so important, what we're about to talk about now. It's probably the most important thing that anyone can talk about at this moment in time in all of the world.
That's right.
Earth shaking.
That's right.
Hamilton on Disney Plus. So how many times have you watched it?
I've watched it at least 4 times. And I've been listening to the soundtrack. I feel like, it came out in 2016.
Yeah.
And I'm, well, there's many of us who are just now being able to watch it. But so I tried listening to the soundtrack prior to watching the show. And I tried to give it a couple of chances. But I need context. I can't just listen to a musical soundtrack without context. And so now it all makes sense. Now I'm like completely in love with the soundtrack, with the show, Disney Plus.
Now, did you have Disney Plus before it was announced?
We did because we had to catch The Mandalorian. That was our biggie, so we had to get it.
Yeah. Wait, were you in The Mandalorian?
I wish.
Okay.
Baby Yoda. Okay, and I get people get upset because it's not Baby Yoda, but come on, little Baby Yoda. That was the reason why we got Disney Plus, just for little Baby Yoda.
I'll go ahead and say it for the purists out there. The child.
The child.
Yes.
I know people, the purists can't stand when people call it Baby Yoda.
Right. Because it doesn't. He'd have to go forward in time, and
right.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know the name of the species either. I think that I'm not sure that it has a species. Ryan McCurdy, are you still watching? Does Yoda have a species name? I don't know.
Camille's dirty room just did it. They were like, "Oh,
yeah, we're done. I'm gonna go watch Hamilton again."
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch
Hamilton. Amazing show. We saw it in Chicago, my wife and I, and we were way nosebleed seats, and nobody was in it that we knew.
Right.
Which is fine. It didn't matter. It's still amazing. It's the staging. is incredible. The music is incredible. The drama is
Yeah.
And I'm almost happy that we didn't see it with Lin-Manuel Miranda in it, because I think that would, it almost takes a focus away from the story itself. He's such, I wouldn't say he's such a presence, but you know he's there. It's like your eyes are always on him.
Right. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good. And so Hamilton was playing when we went to Chicago. I ran the Chicago Marathon maybe 3 years ago. 3 years ago, maybe. That was when Savannah was getting hit by a hurricane. And we were in Chicago, and I was glued to the TV set. I think, was that Matthew? It was the one that the trees came down.
Okay.
I think that was Matthew. I think that was Matthew.
That was Matthew. That was actually
because Irma was the flooding, right?
Yeah.
Irma was flooding. Matthew, it was the trees.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But so we were there, and we tried to get tickets to go see the show, and it was like sold out. Even with our American Express card, we were like, come on, we'll definitely get tickets.
Membership has its privileges, doesn't it?
I know. I'm like, what? But anyway, so we didn't get a chance to see it, and we were supposed to go see it in Atlanta at the Fox last month, I guess. And because of COVID, it was canceled. So when I found out that it was going to be streaming on Disney Plus, I was super, super excited, and I could not wait. And man, it was so good. And I think like the beauty of it, and I don't know how were you able to see the facial expressions versus like what you're seeing on TV? Because like, man,
I think we brought like some binoculars just in case, and we were sharing it back and forth. But yeah, you definitely, you couldn't see what you see in that experience. It's totally different. I mean, it's different from seeing it on stage, of course, and seeing it live, but it adds a whole new level to it that you can't get live for sure. I wonder though, you think it takes away from that experience?
What, watching it? I thought watching it and being able to see the actual, like being so close and seeing like just the smallest of facial gestures, it was so powerful. And I was wondering, if you're sitting out in an audience, if you're in the nosebleed seats, right? Like, would you be able to even like see a little, would you be able to see that?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I couldn't see that. I do have people that went to see it in New York, and they got in the lottery.
Nice.
And they got in, and that was I don't know if you know the Jameses, Lynn and Lisa James.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they got in the lottery and were able to see it like up close.
Wow.
And they saw it with like basically the original cast, which I'm sure for them was amazing.
Wow, that's awesome. But yeah, just seeing like Aaron Burr's, like just his like little bit of his like, a little sneer or little grin here and there. To me, I was like, wow, that's like so powerful.
Yeah. So I asked you this before. We never really decided. Who would you cast yourself as?
Well, because I love a power ballad. I will totally be Eliza. Like, holy moly.
Yeah.
And her voice is just incredible and so effortless. But man, the entire time I watched that show, that's got to be one of the hardest, I think, musicals to learn, right? Like to get down that syncopation and the beat, like holy moly. And like some of the speed of these lyrics that are like flying out of their mouths, like if you mess up a lyric, like you're toast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't drop anything in that show for sure.
No. Now who would you play?
Oh, I think it's pretty obvious to most people who I would want to play. I would of course be King George, because I love that role, and it has that comedy that I like in a role.
I love his songs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And the
It's very-
actor that's in this production, of course, is the same person who is, oh gosh, in Frozen.
The snowman.
Christoph.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not the
Yeah,
snowman.
I have older kids. Like
Yeah.
I don't know these names of.
I have older kids too, but you're Frozen. Come on. No. I know your daughter watched Frozen. Don't even.
If it's not Elsa, I mean.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But his portrayal of the king in that is just, it's so yeah.
It is. Once again, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then just, oh my gosh, like even just watching the spit fly out of his mouth is like crazy.
You can't get that anywhere else.
No.
All right. What is going on here, folks?
And his range.
Yeah.
His range is amazing.
It is so amazing. Okay, so I don't know what happened there, but we dropped for a second there, so I hope nobody lost anything that we were talking about. We were talking about King George and his amazing range and how I would be perfect in that role. And Cecilia, you would be amazing as Eliza, of course.
I love it. That song Burn, where she's burning his letters, like, holy moly, so good. And just the lyrics in that song is amazing.
Have you heard any of her other performances?
I have not.
Okay, you have to check this out. All right. So she was also Philippa Sue was also in oh gosh, it's the musical based on the French movie.
Oh, Amelie?
Yes, she was Amelie, and there's some wonderful music in that, as well as she was in Pierre and the Great Comet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now that soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
But that musical didn't last very long on Broadway, right?
No, it did get some really great buzz and everything, and I knew at least one person that saw it and thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
And had some great names in it too.
That's right. There was like somebody like left the show. There was like some sort of drama.
Oh,
right before. Okay. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. No, there's like some big drama thing that happened right before that show closed.
Big drama thing in a musical?
Right.
So you've done a lot of shows in the past. You were in Hair. Oh, I'll do mine as well. Here we go. I actually have water here as well. Just you did Hair, and you did of course Rocky.
You did?
The first show that I saw you in was Chicago.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was like one of my bucket roles.
Yeah.
But I'm actually wearing my shirt.
Oh, are you?
This was my return to theater.
Oh.
See it. But it's my No Day But Today shirt from Rent. And that was when Jin Hee, that's how I first met Jin Hee. And but yeah, that was my kind of first time back into musical theater. I did Hedwig right before that and then took a break because I actually was in a punk band that was inspired by my role as Yitzhak in Hedwig that I wanted to like continue rocking on. And so I did it for a year, and then I auditioned for Rent, and I said, okay, if I get this role, then I'm going to quit the band. And I got the role of Mimi, and I quit the band. And
that was a short band.
It was a short band. Thankfully it was a very short run because those weekends, like staying up till all hours of the night in a dank bar. It's like, yeah.
And that was a Savannah band?
Yeah, we were called Cece and the Creeps. We were a punk hair band. We covered from Guns N' Roses to the Misfits to Joan Jett, the Runaways.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was like theater, you get to be like this like you have this alter ego that you can play around with when you're out doing these gigs.
Yeah. That sounds fun. I never got to be in a band.
Talk about drama. That's a lot of drama.
Oh, I bet.
Being in a band's a lot of drama.
Yeah. Speaking of bands, I just heard that the Jinx is closing, which is sad.
I know. That is so sad. I love the Jinx.
Did you guys ever play there?
We did not. We played.
No.
We did not play at the Jinx. We played in really dank bars. Very seedy bars, probably bars I would never step foot into. You know, I was out and about by myself. So, but it was fun and very, you know, eye-opening to all these other bars that exist that I never knew about.
That's funny. That's funny. That's all I got there.
Yeah.
What was your favorite role to play?
Oh man. That's a tough question because I've loved all the roles that I've been in. So like with Rent, it was like the chemistry with the show, like really was the chemistry within the cast.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like being in Rent, like these friendships that started there still remain strong to this day. And so every show that I've been in, like I've loved every little kind of piece of my character. And they've all been roles that I've been dying to play. So I've been super excited. But I'll just say like my last role with Hair was so powerful. And so we went to see that show at Serenby here this past summer. Well, last summer, before our show. Just to kind of see another interpretation of it, another take from another director. And that was, I mean, it was such a beautiful experience. I cried when I saw it. And also I thought it was interesting because the cast for our show, it was like an educational experience for everybody to kind of understand what was going on during that era of Hair. I'm Vietnamese, and you know the whole storyline of the show was, you know, talking about the Vietnam War, and it opened up a conversation between my dad and I because they never talked about it. So our director Jeff DeVinson at the time had asked if I would speak about it, and I, you know, told him that I actually didn't really know much about it because it was a topic that my parents never really talked about. But doing the show, I was able to call him, and you know, he went into detail, and it was one of the first times he had actually opened up to me about all the things that had happened when he was in the war. And it was very educational, very eye-opening, very sad, but it was very powerful to be able to share that story and that experience with the rest of the cast. So
yeah,
and I love that show. And same thing, the whole idea of community, the whole idea of love, that I felt in Rent was the same way with Hair. So yeah, I miss it. And right now it's like so crazy because I feel like, you know, we talked about how relevant it was last year when we did it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is so relevant today. And I mean, even watching Hamilton, to know that, you know, it was put out in 2016. And now, you know, it's so relevant, so powerful. There are like little lyrics and little words everywhere that, you know, that I'll pull out from the show that it's like, oh, this is like so today.
Yeah. I mean, there are times, and I try to stay very positive and very bright on this interview. But there are definitely times when I'm like I look at everything around us and I'm just like, you know,
right. Right.
But things like that, Hamilton, just being able to see that and re-explore all the different sides to that story.
Right.
Have you heard the story of the bullet?
No.
Okay, watch it again.
Okay.
And
no.
Yeah.
You're talking about the character?
Yeah.
Yes. which I caught onto that when I watched it, because I was like, that's the same person that caught the bullet, that had it whizzed by Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
And so I paid attention to it. And then I read an article, actually. Somebody shared an article about it. And I read, and I'm like, I got that. I saw that. And how she was flirting with, oh my gosh, with Philip. Wait, am I making his name up?
Okay, yeah. Philip is Alexander's son.
Yeah. So
Okay.
just, yeah. Wow. But yeah,
like
I did read
death
that.
flirting with, flirting with the person who's about to die. Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, oh, how did he think of that? The choreography, like everything, and satisfied with the whole rewind element, right? Like I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This is amazing. And even Aaron Burr's to be in the, he wants to be in the room where it happens, and that whole rewind situation too, where they're going into the whole backstory of all their dealings in the room. Just brilliant. My gosh, I don't know how to fit so much information in a 2.5 hour musical. And to make, I don't know, like I was talking to my husband about this last night, and I told him, I was like, I'm kind of ashamed that I guess I didn't really, history is not my thing. It's not my forte. I was one of those students that would study for a test, and then I would take the test. I would ace that test. And then the next day it was out. Like I need room for the next thing. So like that is out of my head. Now the next thing's in. So I was like asking him all kinds of questions. I was like, I really don't remember, all the details, and just reading, reading the positive reviews, and then reading like the criticisms that the show got from like historians, like in getting the story right. I just thought it was so interesting for a musical to bring this historical figure to life, right? But in a way that is so interesting.
Yeah. It reminds me of Schoolhouse Rock. I think everybody says that though, but
yeah,
that's how we learn stuff,
Yeah, right.
So the next one will be
a musical. Everything should be a musical.
Yeah, and the next thing is going to be how a law becomes a bill, or a bill becomes a law. Or what is I don't remember.
Yeah.
You know about that. I don't know anything about that. That law stuff. Law stuff. Do you ever work with any like performance or entertainment law or anything like that?
I do not. So I'm actually in the engineering field.
Oh, what is wrong with me?
No, I do marketing for an engineering company.
Got it. Which is a lot like being a lawyer.
We deal with lawyers. We deal with lawyers.
Wow. So far off the mark. I had all these law questions. I have like a whole list of law questions I was going to ask you.
Oh yeah, I would have lied to you. I would have given you all kinds of false information.
Perfect. I actually interviewed an entertainment lawyer not too long ago, Ryan Schmidt, and he's also a singer. But I didn't have a list of law questions, and I felt compelled to write some. So, of course, our resident marketing engineering consultant / lawyer / runner / performer.
Yeah.
You gotta cross train at everything, it seems.
I know. Jack of all trades.
Yeah. When you were in school, was this something that you thought you would pursue?
So I didn't do theater until high school, and which is funny because in certain shows with the Collective Face Theater, I'm working with my drama teacher, and so for the longest time, I could not bring myself to call him by his first name, and that's Michael or Mike. But so I kept calling him Mr. Monahan, and he was like, if you call me Mr. Monahan one more time, I'm like, this is so weird. This is so strange, because like I've been so used to calling you this that it's hard. It's like I remember cringing the first time I had to call him Mike. I was like, oh, Mike. But And I didn't do too much in college. I did nonsense. I did one show in college. I did nonsense. But I had my kids early. So I had my son while I was in college. And I guess that, you know, I spent my time in college being a mother. And actually when I was going to school, I was actually going to study voice, and decided that I would do better if I majored in English communications, which I did. And I love the fact that I can still do what I love. I'm very passionate about singing, passionate about theater, and I'm glad to be able to get my foot back in there and do that. So I'm glad it's still part of my life.
Yeah. I am too.
Yeah. I need that.
Yeah.
Like I'm missing it really, really bad.
Well,
Just singing show tunes in the shower to an audience of, bar soap.
You say. Sorry. It's in my head now. The price. I can't remember the rest of it. It's in my head, but it won't come out.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, especially when he hits those high notes, it's just like, and he does this little thing with his, it's like a little sneer when he does it. Oh, so good.
I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to do it. And it'll be on here at some point. But
you know what would be fun? I've been wanting to do this, right? Like, if we could all come together, all the different theater companies in town, and do like once this global pandemic is like once it gets the heck on out of here,
right?
Wouldn't it be beautiful to do like a cabaret type show, a fundraiser to bring all the companies together, like people that you've been wanting to work with, you haven't had an opportunity to work with, but like I just think it'd be beautiful.
I agree. I totally agree with that. I'm not in charge of a theater.
I'm not either. So
we could probably talk to some people who have theaters that and ask them if they would be up for this, and then just gather some people together. It doesn't have to be under any name. We could just here's everybody all together and let's do a cabaret. I think that's a great idea.
It'd be so much fun, and then you could do a song that you've been wanting to do.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it, guys.
Hello.
Let's get the band together.
Let's make it happen.
This is like a musical moment right here. I feel like we should break into song. And
right?
Yeah.
Let's remember this moment, because when it happens, we'll say, where this started.
In the room where it happened.
Yes. You could have been in the room where it happened.
You all one person who's watching right now, you're in the room where it happens. Oh, two. You've gone to two. Two. We've been up to 7, just so you don't feel totally bad. And a lot of people will come back and watch later.
Well, and I do that. I'll do that. So I've done that.
I've been watching the metrics and seeing how people watch the show. And a lot of people just they'll watch like the first 10 minutes. And then my voice is so grating that they'll just drop off. I think that's what happens.
But you don't give up, Chris. You don't give up. And
you never give up.
That's the important thing.
That's right. So any last words? I feel like there should be some last words. What do you have for us?
Last words. Oh, you put me on the spot. This is like 10 minutes of so like if we go back to Hamilton, right?
Okay.
At the end, like I love that moment when the song, it's like, and when my time is up. Oh gosh, what is it? When my time is up, have I done enough? I love that.
Yeah.
So that, people, those think on that.
Yeah.
When your time is up, have you done enough?
I think you have to, if you're that type of person, you have to basically say to yourself that I have done enough whenever your time is. because you never know. And so, yeah,
Right.
you just keep trying to do enough. And
You're right. Live life to the fullest, people.
that's right.
Oh, I know what we didn't touch on.
What's that?
Okay, spoiler alert.
Okay.
And by people, if you haven't watched Hamilton, like by now, come on, right? Like, come on.
Borrow a Disney Plus account.
Right.
Mm.
The ending, the very end of the show,
Mhm.
Eliza's moment, her gasp at the end.
Mm.
Like, what do you think she sees? Like that whole idea. So somebody posted something the other day. Actually, it was Jeff that said, "Do you think like that was the moment of enlightenment, right? Like what do you think she saw there?"
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, she saw her life.
And you know what's crazy is that I was reading. Okay, so once I fall in love with a musical, then I research it. Like I just like fall into it. I fall into a rabbit hole of like research. I did it for Hair. I do it pretty much for every show that I'm in because I want to know everything. I want to know all the history about it. And so I Googled, like as soon as the show was over, I like jumped on my phone and started Googling like the ending, like what people's interpretations were on that. And I just thought it was like, I don't know. I thought it was pretty incredible in that the show with it being called Hamilton, and yes, it was based on Hamilton, sure, but like Aaron Burr was like such a huge like narrator of that, like the whole idea of like the show's interpretation, and then at the end, it's like it's Eliza. Eliza gets to tell, Eliza is the one that carries that legacy, and oh man, that moment at the end is just
Blows your mind. Yeah.
I cried. I bawled. Like I didn't want my husband to see me. He was like sitting on the couch just looking at me like, "Are you crying right now?" I'm like,
All right. So I have to fess up now that I've only seen the first half. And I have to explain why. I have to explain why. So Molly was out of town. She went to a friend's private beach, and so she enjoyed some time away from Savannah. So we, of course, if she was home, we would have all watched it together. So my wife and I were dependent on my son, Mr. Jacob Bass, to watch it with us. So Jacob's not a musical guy.
right.
I mean, he's a very musical guy. Like he can play piano like nobody's business, but he's not that into musicals. So
Right.
we're like, I don't know, probably 35 minutes in, and he's like, "How long is this?" And I said, "Well, it's 3 hours long, and
Right.
there's an intermission. So we'll get to the intermission. We'll take a break." And we took a break, and we haven't gone back to it yet because I'll tell you why. We have this habit every night of watching Gilmore Girls.
Oh, you guys are going back? Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I started watching Gilmore Girls.
What?
This whole quarantine has
Yeah.
like been like, okay, Gilmore Girls.
I've never seen it, so for me, it's all new. But we've been enjoying it. Yeah. We're
So I have to admit, the only reason why we started watching Gilmore Girls is because I was watching This Is Us.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the biggest crush on Jack.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
So my daughter and we've been like, oh, I was like, he played in Gilmore Girls. And so, yeah, we started watching some of the.
Yeah, I think he was in Gilmore Girls, and then he was in, while Gilmore Girls was on, he went to Heroes, and he was in Heroes. And then, now, of course, the best show on TV. The one that they hoped that the one filmed here would be exactly like, but it wasn't.
I know.
Very upsetting.
So that one's being canceled, right?
Yeah. Right now, that's what they're saying. It's being canceled. Although when networks say it's going to be canceled, it's canceled.
Yeah.
Face it. Especially now. Things that get canceled are not coming back.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. it had a good representation of things. I think it was. I mean, it wasn't anything like Savannah, but
Right.
it had a good representation of people. I think.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and that was nice. Did your daughter get to be an extra in that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I think she was too young, wasn't she?
I don't know. I don't think she's never expressed any interest in doing any of that. So I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
she's very she is very modest. She just doesn't want any attention. She's very unlike myself.
I get it.
Yeah.
My son is amazingly talented and an amazingly talented performer, but he doesn't want to do it in front of anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, share your art.
Yeah.
So I feel like my daughter's like she's such a beautiful dancer. Like, I love it. And I'm like, why? Like, you should like do all this other stuff. So I've been talking to her too about like, are you going to continue doing this when school's out?
Yeah.
But she's like, I will, but it'll be a hobby and not a career, which I get. So.
Well, my son, fortunately, he's still taking lessons, so that's good. And I think he wants to continue doing it. He may even teach, which would be nice. Just make some extra money that way. That's what he looks at it as. I'm going to make some extra money teaching, which is fine.
What does he play?
Piano.
Oh, I wish that I could play the piano.
Yeah.
And then when I tried to learn, I was already an adult when I was trying to learn. And I like this hand, these fingers want to do the same thing these fingers do. And I just, it's hard.
Yeah. It's like juggling.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Not a juggler.
I was thinking maybe with the quarantine, I'd learn how to play like some instrument. Maybe.
We should be doing all the things now. We should be amazing at everything now.
I know. We could even like start our own band. Chris, what are we doing? We are
wasting. A band. Let's do it.
I mean, when our time is up, have we done enough? Apparently not.
Nice circle back around. That's classic comedian right there. Bring it right back to that point. Although it's not really a comical point, but we'll make it one. We'll make
it. I mean, we could have been jamming right now.
We could have been.
Although I have kazoos. I could rock a mean kazoo.
I could get this guitar out. I've been learning the chords for oh man, Tom Petty. She's a good girl, loves her mom. That one.
Yeah. Some good Tom Petty. You can't go wrong with Tom Petty.
Can't go wrong with Tom Petty. Cecilia, this has been amazing. And I never want to cut these things short, but I never eat before these things.
I was going to say, like, what are you having for dinner?
I'm having Dorito casserole.
What? That sounds amazing.
It is. And Molly made it. It's like you take beef and you taco seasoning and then like a layer of sour cream and then Doritos and cheese and that's it.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. I may have to go run to our grocery store and get
stuff. Head on down to the Red and White, grab it.
Heck yeah. That sounds amazing. That's like the Frito pies.
Or whatever. It is. It's like taco meat. Think sour cream next, then cheese, then Doritos, and you crunch it.
Doritos though. Oh, that's.
Oh! I forgot the best part. The best part of this is you layer the bottom with crescent rolls.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing. You need to take a picture and post it and share the recipe.
I will. I'll do that. I'll put it in the comments for this so everybody can go and have Dorito casserole after.
That's right. Oh my gosh, you're a lucky man.
I am.
Lucky man. I am. That's great. I'm jealous. I'm really, really jealous.
Well, Cecilia, I can't wait until we do this, either this band that we're doing or we get to do like the cabaret thing together. That would be awesome. What song would you sing?
A show together soon.
We can do a show together, yeah. But what song
I don't know
would
what
we
soon.
sing in the cabaret? What do you think? What's a good song?
What song would we sing?
Yeah.
Something from Hamilton. Hello.
Okay. All right. We totally do.
Wow. Because it's not like any of us will get the right soon to ever do that show anyway.
Not cheap.
Not cheap. So, make
All
it
right. Well, go join your husband in his Xbox, and
That's right.
yeah.
Thanks for having me.
You're
This was
welcome.
fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for the two that joined us.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye.
That was great. Thank you for joining. Come back tomorrow. We have another guest. I got to remember his name, or I will not leave until I remember his name, because this is someone brand new to me and to the Performance Project, and he will be on tomorrow, and we all know him. We all love him. It is, who is it? I'm so sorry. I failed you all. It is Andrew Savine Wolf. He's going to be here tomorrow night, and we're going to talk about music and laughter and fine things, I know. And we'll be eating charcuterie like everybody always does. And I will see you then, I am sure. So stay tuned.